Hello, awesome folks. I hope you're having just an absolutely amazing day today. So today I want to take a look at the top D&D modules from my lifetime that I've ever read, run, or played as a character, run as a DM, or just read them a couple times that I think have a lot of potential for you folks. So these are number 70 through number 61. For you folks, and as a reminder, these are going to be from 1st edition, 2nd edition, and BECMI, and so forth from those eras. There are no more 3rd edition or 3.5 or 4th or 5th here, just the older stuff. And then these are all TSR things. I've not done one with things like the Vampire Cities or from the first module, which is not done by TSR, or like Judges Guild stuff, like the Dark Tower. Or the Cowards of 3CS. Stuff like that is not going to be a part of this. It's just TSR only for you folks. So there you are. Let's go ahead and get started. Number 70 is going to be OP1, Tales of the Outer Planes. This is an anthology with a number of different short stories of short modules of different opportunities and levels and such. And this is by many different people. I like it because it's pre-Planescape and it gives you an opportunity to see what would have happened with folks back in the more traditional sort of a thing before Planescape. So I do like this. I like incorporating it because it's shorter things of different levels and such. You can definitely find something short for your campaign. Toss it in here and there, like for folks. That's OP1, Tales of the Outer Planes. Number 6 out of 70. Number 69 is I Needle by Frank Manser. I stands for the it's got a lot of classics in it, like I6, Ravenloft, I11, Ravager of Time. I9, Ravager of Time. I also did the Day of El Akbar. It stands for Intermediate, the I series, and so forth. And this is Needle. It's set out in an area that is in the jungle with some stuff that's pretty cool. And you'll go to it. The setting is good. The straps are good. Love it a lot, but it's some good stuff, like a lot. So that's I9 Needle by Frank Manser, hitting number 69. Number 68 is going to BECMI, and this is Wrath of the Immortals by Aaron Alston for you folks. Now, Wrath of the Immortals might annoy some of my Star fans here being here, but it's number 68. I'm sure they'll understand it hitting back here. If you want a campaign, it's going to end you. If you want a nasty, it's a box set. One box is rules for Immortals, and the other box set is about the apocalyptic module to move my star forward. Kind of like what they did with Ravenloft with the conjunctions, or also the Greyhawk things and so forth, in order to push them forwards and sort of to help rebuild some of that stuff that had been told too much, right? It's sort of to refresh the worlds. A lot of stuff happened with Faerun too. So this is a part of that sort of a re-sculpting of the world, if you will. It's a lot of fans just don't like that. I get it, and so forth. I ran this in my campaign in Norwold, loved it lots. It's now the module also, like Tales of the Outer Planes, is more told in multiple adventures in the single thing by Aaron Allison, rather than just one giant tome of things. Just said that you can use over multiple levels and at various times and such. But it is but I do like how the thing it is. Now, one of the major issues that I do have that even with my Star fans that I agree with is that unless your character is a ruler, you won't have of something like a kingdom or duchies and stuff like that, which you would have in an Orwell campaign starting in the Test of the Warlords at CM1 by Douglas Niles. You're probably not going to be doing a lot of the adventuring. It's going to be happening on the side, right? This is a giant world-spanning event, right? And so forth, Wrath of the Immortals. So it's not like you're going to be sitting. So parts of the things are just going to happen, And if you are in the Norwold, this is like Canada, right? It's really far in the north, right? And so forth. So it's not like you're going to be near the hearts of lots of things. that are going to be happening. But Norwood is involved in some of the cider stuff, and if you were in Norwood or in the area, like my guys were, it's fun stuff. So they did get involved in some of the political drama and so forth. But some of it is just going to happen on the side, right? It's just going to happen. I'm okay with that. A little less than it should be. Just like some of my star fans. That's why it's hitting back here at number 68 rather than higher. But as a module, it's great stuff. Love it lots. And that's why it's hitting back here at 68, right? Instead of just not hitting at all for you folks. Number 67 is CM8, The Endless Stare by Ed Greenwood for you folks. Now again, the BECMI series, the C stands for Companions, again CM1, and that's and this is going to be an example of the world of the you have not conquered a world, given it in Norwold, and now you're building up like a duchy and so forth, and you're fighting these massive battles as a general or an admiral, right? Who's going to then just as a peon like before, right? That's what the companion part of this is all about, right? And such. So here, by Ed Greenwood on The Endless Stare, you are coming across an artifact. Again, no spoilers, but you're coming across an artifact that is a central part of the local world building and so forth that you're going to find out a lot more about. It's a little combat light, which is why it's falling back here. I love the world building here. Some people don't like it because they're like, why is it so much information about a tavern, right? Because it's world building, right? Or why are we finding out so much information about spellbooks and wizards and that sort of thing? Because there's spellbooks and wizards. I also like the new spells this adds and so forth, because it's taking where he can't stop himself. Now, that's one of the reasons why it's sitting back here at number 67, right? That's because of some of those inconsistencies with fans and so forth. But I do like it overall. I think it's definitely a good, solid module for you back here at number 67. And it's CM8, The Endless Stare by Ed Greenwood. Now, let's head back to Greyhawk at number 66, which talked about a little bit earlier with WGR2. This is Treasures of Greyhawk. It's another anthology series. I ran this in my initial playing, Thracia, and with my characters and so forth. Different op specs. It's got everything from artifacts to lower level stuff. It's got some great unique items in here. So it's not just Treasures of Greyhawk. It's not just a book of artifacts and magic items for you to give out. It's actually a book of adventures with magic items and an artifact to give out for you folks. Love it lots. And so it's good stuff. And you can do it over various levels. Again, it's a little bit of an anthology, but here, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? So that's Treasures of Greyhawk, number 66. And now from all the rest, it's the top 5. Number 65. You probably haven't heard of this one before, unless you're a deep fan of solo modules. But it's X Solo. It's the first one. Lathan's Gold by Merle Rasmussen, right, folks? So basically what happened during the 80s, in order to sort of embrace the game book craze of things like fighting, fantasy, and lone wolf that were selling lots of rings, they created some solo modules where you can just go out there by yourself and do a solo. And this is in that line of folks. And many of them were just like, turn to page X, fight combat X, like using the D&D rules with their single character, like Maze of the Rippling Minotaur or Blizzard Pass, right? And so forth. Well, what makes this one different is that this was actually an X in BECMI. And an X is, again, and the X in front of a module tells you it should be about exploration, if you will. And so what's happening here in the expert modules and so forth, or is here you are exploring the Sea of Dread, if you will. Good stuff out there. And so but the rules are a little different because you're moving from place to place to place and looking up to see what you find rather than just, so it's more of an open world solo game, which I prefer, which I think it does a very, very strong job of telling the story. I actually set this I actually set a couple of modules in this. In fact, the Maze of the Rippling Minotaur on one of the islands, the Drums of Fire Mountain on another one of these mountains, and so forth on another one of these islands, and such. So I did set some modules in this and make it part of an overarching campaign. Loved it lots. And Number 65, X Solo, Lathan's Gold by Merle Rasmussen. So I hope you enjoy it. Number 64 is X3, The Curse of Xenophon by Douglas Niles. This is, again, an expert, but this doesn't have as much exploration. There is some here and there, but not as much as you might hope, and so forth. But basically, the idea here is that because it's between classic X's, I think that The Curse of Xenophon can sometimes be overseen, like X1 and X2. X1's a classic, The Isle of Dread, rather, by Tom Moldvay and David Cook. Number 2 at Castle Amber by Tom Moldvay, absolute classic too. And then X's 4 and 5 by David Cook are absolute classics. The Temple of Death and Message of the Desert Romance. All 4 of those hit very high on this list, right? And they're very beloved stuff. And then X3 sort of feels in between, right? So I think it's sort of a lost talent, if you will. No, it's not the best module in the world. That's probably one of the reasons why. But Douglas Niles is a great module writer, right? And so forth. You're going to go over into one of the areas that has a Norse style town in the world. You're going to head there and you're going to help out with this local stuff. You're going to find out early on he's passing some weird laws, and you're going to do some deeper dives into what's actually happening with those laws, and so forth. So there you are. That is 64X3, The Curse of Xenophon by Douglas Niles. Number 63. This is back in the CM stuff. It's the last charting CM. CM2. That was the next one. CM3, Saber River by Douglas Niles. Again, classic author of D&D Modules, and Bruce Nesmith for Ismo. Now this one, basically, no spoilers because there are a lot of spoilers in this one. But basically, so a river that's in your dominion in Norwold is starting to turn people poisonous and sleepy, and you're going to be visited as the ruler by somebody who's seeking your help to go and help out, right? And so forth. So you're going to go help out. And it does feel a little bit like you're on a railroad at times, which is why it's hitting back here at number 63. But it's actually very, very strong on the dunk. So a lot of people complain that the first couple of modules in the CMs really weren't treating you like high-level characters, like your combats weren't as big or as big, strong, right, and that sort of a thing. You're more of a general rather than combats and stuff. And so this is very, very strong. It's like every other room's a boss fight, right? You're just constantly looking around and saying, whoa, 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 right? Great stuff. But there's also this famous is infamous for its Monty Python, right? It gives out millions and millions of gold pieces just alone. Gems, platinums, electrum, right? All that stuff. It gives out tons and tons of stuff just alone on that area. Let alone, the magic items, right? And that sort of a thing. So that's also, but you earn it, right? You have to fight through all these various things in order to get there. So that is number 63, CM3, Saber River by Douglas Niles and Bruce Nesmith. And now the last two. Number 62 is C2. C stands here for competitive modules. So this one was used at a camp for competitive campaigns at a big giant convention, right? And so forth. The Ghost Tower of Inverness by Alan Hammock. Now, a lot of people had this higher on this list. Actually, it's the top 30 overall. That was put together, which inspired this list by a lot of people that are experts in the field and so forth. And I played it in my Underdark campaign, and I'm like, I just don't get it. It's nice, right? It's got some good flavor, right? But it just feels a little by the numbers. And I think it's a competitive module, so you probably would expect that, and right, that sort of a thing. So I do like what Alan Hammock is trying to do here. I think it's okay, right? But it just feels a little by the numbers, right? There isn't anything here to really set your thumb upon and say, oh, great stuff, great module. Really sat with me. I just didn't sit with me, if you will, like I was hoping. And then the last one, number 61, is B3, Palace of the Silver Princess, both versions by Gene Wells and Tom Moldvay. Tom Moldvay is a classic, like we mentioned before, Castle Amber. And also stuff like, he also did an Isle of Dread, and then he also did the classic The Lost City, also hit my top 10 earlier for you folks. Great stuff. So he's done a lot of classics But I think so. This one was originally done. Palace of the Silver Princess by Gene Wells, and she put it out and so forth. It was released, and then it came back very, very fast. Some people still had copies, and some staff did too, and kept them. Not every store returned their copies, and so some people bought it. And so forth. It does have some sexual things. I've read both copies and run them both at the same time, and I just combine the best of each one. And I think that the best parts are both of them, right, and so forth, right. I think Gene Wells has some great stuff, right, some great ideas and so forth. But it can feel, her characters can feel a little bad at times, a little sexual and so forth. But I do like where she's going with it. I think some of the classic stuff there, and I like what Tom Moldvay tries to do with it too. Obviously, he's a little hamstrung because it got recalled. So this is not his best work. One of his works has not hit yet. That's in the Master series of BECMI called that's M3 Twilight Calling. But that's so he does some stuff in there, and it's great. And I think that this one's okay, but I think when you combine them and take the best of both, just run that and so forth, I think you'll have a great module. And B3, the free one, is available to download, the Gene Wells version. I've downloaded it and run it both. You can buy the Palace of the Silver Princess from Tom Moldvay's version pretty well too. So that's what I've done. So there you are. That's my number 61. So here they are once again, number 70 through number 61. Number 70 is OP1, Tales of the Outer Planes. Number 69 is I-11, Needle by Frank Mentzer. Number 68 is Wrath of the Immortals by Aaron Alston. Number 67 is CM8. It's The Endless Stair by Ed Greenwood. For you folks, number 66 is WGR2, Treasures of Greyhawk by Minnie. And then the top 5, 65, X Solo, Lathan's Gold by Merle Rasmussen. 64 is X3, The Curse of Xenophon by Douglas Niles. Number 63 is CM3, Saber River by Douglas Niles and Bruce Nesmith. Number 62 is C2, The Ghost Tower of Inverness by Alan Hammock. And number 61 is The Palace of the Silver Princess, B3 by Tom Moldvay and Gene Wells, both versions for you folks. And there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read these? And run them and run them either players or as GMs or both. In some cases, I actually did Palace of the Silver Princess as a player and as a GM growing up in 5th grade, and then also ran it as a Dungeon Master too. Good stuff. So what are your thoughts? Have you run these 10? What are yours? And so forth. Are there things I still haven't gotten? Check out the rest of my lists and so forth. I'm happy to engage with it further before. Remember, this is just my list, right? I'm my own person, right? That's why some of my things are in different orders or in different places, right? There are some that hit my list that are much higher than hit in the top 30, like L1, the bone, which is not the Assassin's, not L2, which is a lot higher, right? Those sorts of things. So you'll see my list is going to have some differences because my list is my list, right? And it's fine. Your list is your list. No issues. Just let me know what yours is, right? What things I hear that you might have played with, or some lost secrets, those sorts of things, right? That you played like or didn't like. So there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it, right? If you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon if you're feeling frisky to be notified of my videos, and then also share it with your friends, Dungeons & Dragons friends, older friends, right? And stuff like this. As a reminder, this channel's name is The Worst Thing About New Books. That's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? And older modules that might have influenced the game or might be lost at time are definitely a part of that in addition to books, right? So finally, I want to thank you so much, for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my video, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling. And I appreciate it much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.